Wait, hold on. There's no sound? Ah, shiznit. So I pinned the link for readings up there. You can see it. That's the link to my PayPal. Um, mic check. Jungle Love. Hey. Yeah, I saw it. Damn it. It's all right. We're here. Up there, you can see. All right, we're back. Okay, so we're gonna reenact this. Like this didn't happen. Okay, we're gonna go Bodhi in the back. There's Bodhi Cam right there, and this is so I don't call this Yoda. I call this Tucker, and then there's Yoda up there. So Yoda and my green metronome cube, and then Tucker, and then Batman, Bodhisattva right there. You can't see him. He's blending in. Bodhisattva's blending in. And the crotch camera, this is, I'll hold this down here so you know that this is when you're trying to assess your boundaries. And then I can, is it going to follow me? It's not going to follow me today. I don't know what's going on with this thing. I'm just lucky that we're not getting dinged out, right? I just feel glad that we're not getting dinged out. Crotch cam, Batman cam, and me cam. Where else do these things go? Is there any other? Oh, that's cool. So, the funny thing is, if you didn't catch my Instagram, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to post the Instagram link here too. So those of you that didn't catch my live that I just did on Instagram can catch that. I thought it was pretty cool. Let me get that link. So I'm going to share that in here as well. That was an energy update for what's been going on, what we're doing right now. And so we're going to do some card readings and I'll show you. So here's the snap. So those of you that remember when I used to do these, you can buy a badge through YouTube. It's down there on the bottom of the chat. It has a smiley face. I'm going to add a reaction. I'm going to put a little reaction in here. I'm going to put in, let's see, crazy man. There, boom. So I can do a reaction and I can show support with cosmic messages, and you show support and it's $20. And then what happens is, oh, I can start a poll too. So we're going to do it live, right? And it's going to be fun. So if you want a reading, I will do 4 readings tonight. And they will be tarot with some clarification. I'll do a 5-card spread. It's a $20 reading. Normally I charge $85 for just a recorded reading, but it'll be $20 for in here because I'm feeling frisky. I'm feeling fun. And if you'd like to do that, let me know and you can do that. If you'd also like to go to the community and check the community out, soc.live, I'm going to actually put my link tree in this chat as well. And you can check those out. Boom. I liked my own video. Everybody hit thumbs up if you're in here. If you hit thumbs up, it brings more people in. And then, yeah, I don't know why that is right now. But so in my link tree, there's a calendar if you want to book an appointment. There's also the donate to the community. My book, Putting the Soul Back in Soulmates, Love, Sex, and Dating. And then also the School of Consciousness podcast, which is my Spotify show. And then this is my Conscious Universe book. And I don't want to really rehash what I was talking about on Instagram. You can check that link out if you're watching this at any time. If you've watched my readings before, you know that my readings are unorthodox. I do it in a way where you don't even have to really ask the question. You just raise your hand and then you will know. And in fact, I'm going to do this in the story. Let's do this. What? We are live right now. If you'd like to book a reading, go to Cosmic Messages with Ryan Keys, Cards and Cosmic Messages. You can book a reading. I am live right now, and we are in chat. I'll see you there. Check it out. What? We are live right now. If you'd like to book a reading, go to... That's really loud. So, I wish I knew what my YouTube was. A link. What is my YouTube link? Oh, I know what I can do. I need to get the link to this video. I'm going to get the link to this video. No, I am interested. Share. And I'm going to put this in the Instagram post. How cool. Live right now. Okay. Boom. All right. And we'll see what happens. Either way, either we get a reading or we not. Did I do it right? It's been a while. Oh, yes, you did it right. You did it right. So we've got Jenny on deck. Hey, Mel, how's it going? So Jenny's up. So we'll start with Jenny, and then we will... I don't even need to know the question because Source speaks to us in a variety of ways. So let me bring up the card camera. There we go. All right, so here's our cards, and we're going to start out the reading with a little blessing first. You don't have to say it with me. We can just be present. And I like to do this to clear the space. I don't know if any of you do this on your readings. I'm going to bring this candle closer. All right, so when you do a blessing, you're actually giving your time, your heart, your energy to understanding what's happening with the reading. So may the cosmic forces and cosmic messages align us in favor to deliver wisdom with these tarot cards. May your journey with this reading be guided by divine insight and profound revelations. And may each card that we draw bring you clarity and guidance and empowerment. And may you embrace the transformative power of the tarot and unlock hidden truths within you. May you walk the path of self-discovery with courage and open heart, and may the blessings of wisdom and love and abundance surround you on your journey, as above, so below. And I like to just kind of bring something in as we journey into through this cosmic energy. There's a significant shift coming. It involves Neptune, and it's got a very dreamy kind of feel. There's almost like a mystical feel going on as well. That's why UFOs are popping in. That's why UFOs are happening. And basically, as we go retrograde into Pisces, it's inviting us to step out of the realm of illusion and face a more raw reality. So I'd like to think of it as we're going into this kind of introspective period that we're called to confront these illusions that we might have been clinging to. This is what I spoke about in my Instagram post that I put in the chat. And if you go to Ryan Keys to Life on the Instagram, you can see that message. It was pretty in depth. It was pretty right on. It was very comforting to help you to be able to support yourself, finding the clearest vision forward. Because it's time to shed these layers of illusion and delve deeper into the core of your being and uncover those truths that you've maybe been obscuring from yourself. And while we've got that Neptune retrograde energy, it may bring some challenges and some discomfort, but ultimately it's bringing you opportunity for growth and empowerment, because it's going to literally pull back the veil. So as you face any of these truths, don't take them as this harsh expectation, but let them be an enabling, an empowering understanding on how you can live more authentically, right? How you can speak more authentically as you start to navigate this period and embrace the power of that self-reflection. I think that you're going to see that introspection is going to be essential to learning how to dive a little bit deeper, dive into your own truth, confront these illusions that we've all created, we've all participated in. And we need to get that clarity and that discernment so that we know where we're leaking energy, we know where to look, we know how to plug those holes where we're losing our power, so that we can emerge stronger and wiser and more aligned with the authentic self. The process of that inner exploration is going to be a little bit different for everybody, but it's going to allow you to let go of what no longer serves you, so that you can continue to make conscious choices that support your growth and your well-being. And I think going forward, right before we start into this reading, and this also rolls into Jenny's reading as well, let's just remember that empowerment comes from facing the truth with compassion and courage, facing our truth, living our truth. This is where true empowerment comes from. It's having the courage to acknowledge reality, but not settle for reality, to always shift your situation to a higher variant, to a higher volume, to a higher frequency, so that you're essentially taking responsibility for being proactive in your field of growth to create a positive change. Even if you don't feel that the outcome has shifted just yet, you're contributing to your own evolution, which is contributing to the collective. And this period that we're going into, where Neptune is going to retrograde into the Pisces area, is going to transform this journey of self-discovery and unveil those illusions and help you embrace those truths, to empower yourself and everyone around you to live authentically and to have a meaningful impact from the point of your particular perception, right? And this will help you to support those people on the path of growth, because you are growing as well. They will either grow to keep up, or they'll see you grow and they'll learn. And when they need that lesson revived for them somewhere down the future, that seed will sprout, and whatever you've planted or given them will shine and will show. So now we're going to pop in. Jenny, just think of the information that you want to access. Think of the information that you really want to tap into. We want to really feel into this reading. Since we're not asking a question essentially to me, I want Source to hear your question. And I'm going to lay this out. We're going to do 5 cards, all right? So we're going to do 3 cards top, and then we're going to have 2 cards at the bottom, okay? And then if we need to clarify with other cards, we'll do that. Hopefully people can see this. I think it's relatively clear. Okay, we've got King of Wands in the first position. We've got, what's this one? 2 of Pentacles in the second position. All right. We've got 6 of, well, I like that one. That looks really cool. That looks like a beach party. And then we've got 6 of Wands in the third position. We've got 7 of Swords in the fourth position. And we've got 6 of Swords in position 5. So the position 1, well, I'm going to bring this front and center. So this is the King of Wands, the King of the Beast. Just by looking at the card, I can already tell you that your root, your grounding, your readiness, your family, your friends, your tribe, your vibe is very dependent upon the words you're going to speak. And this is before I even break into the card of King of Wands. I'm just going with what the artist has given us unconsciously. consciously and unconsciously, right? They've given us these consciously and unconsciously. There's always multiple perceptions within each modality that you're using. So this is a torch in the right hand. This is red for root. This is blue for communication. So your communication is in the lower chakras, your legs, your movement. Your words are going to be very powerful. Your words are going to be instrumental. Your words are going to pave the way. They're going to help you carry yourself. They're going to help you move forward, because this card, position 1, is the background, the beginning, the energy of the reading. Now, the desert seems desolate, but this is a place of peace. It's a place of, it's a pause. So right now you're feeling a little bit of a pause. This red is a very rational, very ready, very elemental energy that's being kind of drawn up within you. You're pulling your roots up within your heart. And this torch in the right hand is about the future. The lion on the left is you're receiving divine courage to begin to live your life lit, to take up the torch, to take up the teaching torch, to take up a different direction, to take up almost, I would like to say, like an inner revolution. And then, so based on this being the background, the King of Wands itself embodies bold leadership and creativity and passion. And this is where you are beginning. This is where your energy is placed. This is where you're coming from. And just the presence of this card alone is suggesting that your reading here is infused with a very fiery, dynamic, root chakra-based energy. And it signifies that you're entering this time of your life, this month, this situation with confidence, ambition, and a strong desire to take charge of your journey. That you're coming from that, you're going to expand into that. It's going to be something that you're going to feel, and you're going to be ready to have a shift. Some change is coming. Now, when I look at, I'm going to bring this front and center, card 2, position 2, this is where you're going to end up if you stay on this current trajectory. Looking at this, again, she's balancing earth and air. She's balancing the spirit world and the physical world. Your lower chakras are a blend of root and sacral, but the dark sweater, the dark atmosphere in between, there is a little bit of a void here. So this is a time of, it's a little bit of a test of your diligence, a test of your own belief in yourself. Your roots and what you're ready for are, they're ready. You're projecting them. She's got that in her right hand. You're ready to share what you've created. You're ready to share what you've generated. In the right hand, behind her head, we have this connection to the crown chakra, or ethereal energy, as above. So as below is going to become as above, but what's happening is that your heart, your solar plexus, and your throat are in a little bit of a vacuum right now. They're in a little bit of a void. That's why this is a darker color. This void represents potential, but it also represents a pause. So I think that don't get frustrated for where you're finding yourself right now. If you're feeling that everything feels like, why isn't it moving? I should be here. I should be there. This is a little bit about what I talked about on Instagram, releasing the rigidness of you should be anything, anywhere, and right now. To enjoy the moment, to tap back in, to let this sacral root connection rise up and fill the void and empower yourself. What you've been working on, where you're coming from, and then that sacral intuitive path, that intimate path, that sensational, sensory path, to rise up and fill this void. And then if I just take the direct meaning, not just the energy that came with the card, but if I look at 2 of Pentacles on this current path, that's saying it's representing balance and adaptability and feeling a need to kind of juggle different priorities. And if you continue on this current path, you'll find yourself not only successfully managing those aspects of your life, but the card's encouraging you to remain flexible, resourceful as you navigate through these opportunities, and understand that you don't have to have it all together right now. You don't have to have all the answers right now. You don't have to have the perfect person, place, or thing going on right now, right? Where you're at right now is in the ready. You're in the ready stage. You're ready. See, ready, red. now we're going to look into position 3. Position 3, this challenge is this is the challenge that you might face to find that success or where this will take you. Now, I like this card already. Before I'm even going to address 6 of Wands, I'm looking at, so we see her back. So because we're behind her, our perception is a very vulnerable space. We're seeing her open, offering, and she's literally vulnerable to the world because she is turned away from us and she's moving towards something. She's picked up the torch from the original King of Wands. Now she's got a wreath of good tidings, a wreath of a welcome, a wreath of peace, and she's welcoming the spotlight. She's welcoming her time, her tribe, her moment. It's ecstatic. And the colors here represent the white jacket means that you're receiving this higher source knowledge. Now, 6 of Wands, the challenges that you might find or face in this are signifying, really, it's your own need for recognition or your own need for accomplishment. That's the only obstacle, the only opportunity is to not get bogged down or stuck in your need to be recognized or to recognize yourself or to compare yourself on the path. It also suggests that the challenges that you might encounter could involve maintaining that human connection to everything and every way that you would be doing to avoid aligning yourself against yourself, to avoid comparison, to avoid categorizing yourself in a timeline of efficiency. This is where you'd really want to welcome. This is welcoming that Gemini, Aquarian, air energy to let you step out of a situation to feel more connected. And this card is going to remind you also to celebrate your achievements, to celebrate with friends and family, to celebrate with your interest, so that you can learn to be grounded and connected to others through the gift of celebration. So now when I look at card in position 4, this is the guidance on how to navigate any self deceptions or any hidden obstacles or opportunities that could come up. When I'm looking at this, it obviously makes sense, right? That's why this card looks like, we've got feathers flying, we've got ravens rolling around, and we've got this awesome guy collecting feathers, and we've got this guy, he's got a bag of swords, he's collecting these feathers in the nature of swords. So you're in the night, you're again, it's diverting back to this potentiality, or this, let's call it this great pause that you might be feeling in a portion of your life. And it's because you're generating and you're collecting the energy that's necessary, but you're also developing such a keen sense of discernment so that you have that hell yes or hell no, and you're not moving on maybes anymore, and you're not wasting precious energy or time on a maybe. And then just to look at this as the 7 of Swords, right? It represents knowing deception, knowing trickery, seeing people's hidden motives. And it does say to be discerning in your interactions. And it is advising you to learn to trust your intuition and to stay vigilant in this period that you might feel a pause. It's also about being aware of any, I'd like to say, because this is very crowned down, so this would have to do with the world of business in my mind. So don't let the world of business manipulate you into any kind of potential overworking, underpaid, any potential deceit, or any manipulative tactics that might try to hit you in the man's world, so to speak, in the patriarchal kind of system that's fading away as it goes into some of these fearful throes of losing the connection. People in power will try to shift their pain onto the people underneath them. So you want to be really aware and stay vigilant for those people. You don't want to take on anybody else's tough times. Now, looking at the fifth position, this is how to find peace in this situation, how to put this into action. And I love this Six of Swords. She's being pulled effortlessly with no effort. There's no wind, but she doesn't need it. She's being pulled to safety. She's got her sword. She's ready. It's by her side. It's not drawn, so there's no more conflict. She's wrapped in a red cloak. She's feeling home. The water's calm. Emotions are well. The ravens are representing taking flight, finding your home, finding your family in a forward place. So where you haven't found it previously, you're moving into that now. And this Six of Swords also signifies a transition, moving away from difficulties and finding solace and resolution. It also suggests that you're going to be expanding your journey of healing and leaving behind some of the older challenges that you've faced and succeeded with, releasing any residual emotional baggage, and indicating a period of calm and a positive shift towards a more peaceful, stable future. When I look at this reading as a whole and I see this interpretation, I'm really seeing that the imagery and the symbolism is about intuition, not punishing yourself for a timeline, and seeking deeper insight and meaning in every single aspect of your life, and embracing love and joy and the rhythm of happiness, and being a little easier on yourself and not letting the weight of the world weigh into your life and worry you. And if you had a question, a yes or no question, oh, wow, we got this again. So this is forgiveness. And forgiveness begins within yourself, right? So forgiveness, we don't need to forgive anyone. We need to forgive the existence. We need to forgive the situation. The person, if we can implement this as a power position, and we can look at this as a purpose-based, higher purpose experience, what you're forgiving is you're forgiving that, I'm forgiving myself for not being able to see the good in the situation and only seeing the bad, and not being able to bring this to empowerment. So you could forgive that, but you don't really have to forgive the person. So once I do pull these cards, I put them up because I already prayed over and shuffled the decks. So I just set those to the side. Then let's see. So we've got Debbie's up next. Did we book anything else while I was doing this reading? If anybody else wants a reading, let me know. Oh, hey, Lindy girl. So just double checking. All right. So Debbie, you're up next. So Debbie, just think of your question. I don't need it. Again, source is 100% authentic, and I'm going to put the cards out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And while you're thinking of this, my word that is coming in is harnessing the good, rewarding the good. Go with what you do best. Focus on what sets you apart. And don't really worry about right now working on any weak areas. Don't target, don't judge, don't fixate on anything you need to fix right now. Really just focus on what you do that is good and fantastic, and that makes you feel connected, and move more towards the things that you are high functioning, high vibration, high frequency in, wherever that is. So this way you can generate not only healing powers, manifestation powers, and all the connections to those outcomes. and you're not losing or leaking energy in trying to look at what went wrong, what's not going right, or look at what you wanted to change from the past. Just really lock into what you're doing great right now. So we're going to turn these cards over now that you've had a chance to think about that, and we've got that in initial download. Okay, so we got the Magician. Okay. Position 1, position 2, we've got, that's upside down, King of Wands. I don't normally do upside down, but we'll do them. We've got 9 of Cups. Okay. And then position 3, we've got upside down, the Hierophant. Okay. And then position 5, we've got an upside down 8 of Pentacles. Okay. So we're going to see where this takes us. So let's look at position 1. All right. So position 1 is, this is the energetic message for you. This is what the universe wants to relay to you. And as we look at this, so this man is receiving energy from the universe. He is in an infinite space. So this shows me that your higher self is really trying to get through to you. It's trying to give you energy if you feel like you're stuck in a cycle or in a loop. It's trying to help you to get momentum, to get out of this circular rut. It's also recreating a connection for you to your highest version. So this is altering a timeline for you. Card 1 as the energetic message with the Magician alone, it tells me that it symbolizes a manifestation and the power to create the reality that you're resonating with. Now, this is a big responsibility because it's saying when you say anything, when you do anything, when you're literally manifesting your reality. So, and I don't want you to get self-conscious and feel the need to police yourself, but really this is about harnessing the connection to who you are and really diving into the abilities that you have to connect to higher thinking, higher frequency. And it's ironically, this is the download that we started before we flipped the cards. It's also giving you the resources to bring those deeper desires or your gifts to bear, to fruition. It's also reminding you that you have the tools already within you and the potential to manifest your goals or your dreams. But like in the Instagram live that I had earlier, don't let your goals and your dreams dominate you at a distance. We need to find a way to pivot and to feel that presence now so that your purpose is able to kind of come in alignment and to carry you a little bit more effortlessly past some of these obstacles or these areas where you may be leaking energy. Oh, wow. Bubba is snoring like a banshee. I don't think you guys can hear that, but well, I can hear that. Then we're looking at position 2. Now, position 2 in an upside down clause is the current challenge or the obstacle at hand. I'm going to turn it right side up so we can get a good view of it. So there is a dancing horse. There is a magic wand, and she's got the Knight of Wands. This literally reminds me of like Sheryl Crow or somebody banging on a drum that's on fire. The drum is the heartbeat of who you've been, the heartbeat of who you are. The red is rising up from family, from reestablishing your roots. And it's going to catch fire. It's going to purify. It's going to cleanse. It's going to raise within you a more conscious connection. That's why it goes into the white. The hair being everywhere shows me that there's a wind involved. The wind is an air energy. So you're probably going to get guidance from the air. It might even involve air travel. It might even involve speaking more, using your voice more in something. The horse in the background is very representative of the wild embodiment of letting go a little bit and having more fun and not living so rigid and celebrating the wins, right? That's what she's doing here. She's celebrating in a sense. And then, so literally, and then this card is suggesting passion and direction and leadership has been lacking because it's upside down, right? It's also saying that some of the challenges that you might find are because you're not tapping into the highest version of yourself. So as you tap into the highest version of yourself, your challenges will be faced easier. It's also essential that this is about rediscovering your enthusiasm and regaining control of excitement and being actionary, and to pull away from any kind of innate pessimism or self-debilitating talk, to really get in. This is about the rhythm, and with it's upside down like this, it's telling us that one of the challenges here is you have the potential to do these things, but you're not as focused on them as you could be. All right, so we're going into the next section, the next card, which is, this is about your fulfillment and your emotional satisfaction from what I'm feeling in the reading. It's a little bit different than the last one, but everything is going to be organic. 9 of Cups. So this is a celebration. This is seeing the fruitfulness in your life. So for you, this is telling me already that you're very geared into pleasing people more than yourself, right? You're filling everybody's cup, and that's fine. But I really think that also too, if you're not, that's why she's coming out of a treasure chest. If you're not super focused on, which with this card, feeding yourself, getting in the flow and finding the rhythm, and really focusing on your strengths and not your weaknesses, and not debilitating yourself with self-talk, if you don't load up on that treasure that you find within yourself, you're going to run out and you're going to feel overly expended. But if you want to rise up and meet the occasion and fill up all these other people's cups, what happens is that the 9 of Cups is representing emotional fulfillment and contentment. And it indicates that you are going to be experiencing this potential for deep satisfaction. But because of the card previously, it's going to be super connected to you understanding how to tap into that and focus on your strength, and to not continually to repeat anything of the past that has been keeping you down. And it's an alteration, it's a change across the board. It's stepping into the best version of yourself. It's also reminding you to focus on gratitude and celebrating abundance, even though you may not see it, right? Because if you celebrate abundance and you're like, well, I don't see it, I can't celebrate it. Well, it can't see you, right? I'm celebrating abundance right now, and if abundance can see me, if I can see it, it'll see me. It goes back to that game of, it's like literally, it's like hide and go seek. If I can see the person looking for me, they can see me, right? So position 4, we've got, I'm going to flip it right side up, but we have to remember. So this is literally the Hierophant. This is Jacob's ladder. This is upside down. So the stairway going up to heaven is been upside down. So it's kind of taking you down into the depths. So you're doing a lot of deep diving. So you're content, you're happy, but you're holding out on yourself. So the happiness isn't who you are right now, it's who you're wanting to be. So it's externally focused just a little bit. So we need to bring that back eternally. We need to take that and turn it right side up to get that energy of ascension, to get that energy of feeling I'm not just wasting my time. You're never, ever, ever wasting your time. In the past, you never wasted your time. Everything was purposed, right? So everything is exactly the way it should be. This also represents an area of resistance or limitation, and makes sense. And we got the Hierophant reversed. So basically it's suggesting that You're going through a little bit of rebellion against your own belief system. You're feeling uncomfortable in the institutions that you're working with. You're feeling a little bit non-traditional. You're feeling a little bit left out of the system because you're going to need to focus on your future self as the present self. And the past, you're not going to blend in any longer. So you're going to feel that friction. So you're starting to become aware of the friction of that. And you're seeing it subconsciously and psychologically, maybe some resistance. And so this is going to be about take a break from negative self-talk. Take a break from people that are pushing you. Take a break from feeling overextended. Take a break from rigid structure. Take a break from anything that doesn't serve you, right? And I hate to say it, it doesn't matter even if it's a family member, you're going to have to just open up your space a little bit. You need some extra wiggle room. And so if you're encountering resistance due to your desires or due to where you perceive yourself you should be, don't get too lost in that conversation. Look around you a little bit more and think to yourself, like I used to have this kid in my neighborhood, and his name was Tommy. And every time he would wreck his bike, he would run over and punch me and blame me for him wrecking his bike. And he could have been, one time he ran like 30 yards. And he was bigger than me, and I was little. I was a nerd, so I took the punch. Now, sometimes we do that to ourselves. We'll hurt ourselves indirectly because we're not being honest with the people around us, and then we will allow somebody to punch us, and it's not even has anything to do with us. We'll allow them to blame us for something that has nothing to do with us, and because we love them or because we feel belittled by them or we feel insecure, we won't call it like it is. We won't call it out and say, don't you ever run across here and hit me for your stupid shit. So stand up for yourself in a beautiful way that is progressive, that is powerful, that is passionate, that is got compassion. You can stand up for yourself even if it's just not answering and moving on, right? You don't have to confront someone to stand up for yourself. Don't get lost in that archaic understanding. You don't have to confront someone face to face and go blow to blow to actually successfully confront them. Actions speak louder than words, and a lot of times words are wasted because it's butterfly talk to caterpillar people. So don't get in that, right? So that's card 4. Card 5, we also have in reverse. This is where you're going to grow. This is what's going to come forward. This is what you're going to be feeling. This is 8 of Pentacles. This is about having plenty, right? It's about having, you have access, okay? So she's sitting there. She's sipping. She's looking. She's got a full setup, a full spread in front of her. When it comes to nourishment and higher self and the moon cycle going over. So this is about a 30-day turnaround, 28-day turnaround. She's coming from the heart and it's affecting the family. So this tells me that to get to where you want to be in personal development, if you tap into your heart, it's going to affect some of the things with the family and you might create some friction. But that's okay, right? Because you have to be true to you ultimately in the end of this. So in the 8 of Pentacles, reversed, it indicates the need to reevaluate, to hone your skills. And it suggests that you might be lacking a little bit of self-focus or self-commitment in your life or in other areas. And it's time to assess your benefits, your gifts, and to invest your energy in the areas that you truly align with your passions and aspirations over the next 28 days. And if you do so, you're going to see some major shifts coming in. And then basically, if you are able to commit to this and reassess this and invest your energy, it's going to help you manifest and to tap into your creative power. And these challenges that are reigniting in your life, you'll find a direction a lot easier, and your emotional fulfillment and your contentment are going to be much closer to you if you can just break free from the limiting behaviors and limiting people and concepts that know the old Debbie, but they don't know the current Debbie. Because if you keep talking to people that only entertain the old Debbie, then your future Debbie self can't be different, because they won't allow it, and you're catering to them, and you're curtailing your life to coddle them, and you're not going to be able to step into your future with your current self, because your current self is coddling the old version of you that people may have. And that's what this reading is really about. It's reassessing these goals, investing yourself, aligning with your passions, and just knowing this important to connect with people, and to constantly to inquire within yourself, to trust your intuition, and to navigate this journey in a way that you're constantly growing and going towards a much more open-ended future where there's not all these people that are trying to lock you in or to pigeonhole you into who you were, right? So that's there, and it's very, very prevalent, and it's a very powerful piece. And I feel that if you do that, the key is going to be simplicity. So you're going to have to keep it simple and really stay with your strengths. And even this says deep, profound serenity is expanding in your life. And this is all throat chakra energy. So keeping it simple, speaking simply, speaking about yourself in a very proactive, simple manner, simplifying people's needs and conversations so that it's easy for you to engage with them and understand them. There's not a lot of confusion or misinformation, and you're not trying to interpret what they want you to know. You're simplifying it so that you both are speaking the same language, right? So we're going to go out that way. So that is Debbie's reading. And I feel that, in the course of that reading for Debbie, that many of us can pick up a very powerful stance. And that's the interesting thing in this, is that readings like this are actually, they are helping all of us, because like the hexagrams, there's only 64 hexagrams. Like life, there's only so many scenarios and situations that really set us all up for this. And we can all identify with a little bit. We've all got a little bit of Jen. We've all got a little bit of Lindy. We've all got a little bit of Ryan. We all got a little bit of Evangeline, a little bit of Paul, a little bit of Debbie. We've all got a little bit of each other. And if we allow that, and we heal and we celebrate when somebody's having a breakthrough, we get a breakthrough as well, because we're receiving that seed. So, Lindy girl, going forward, let's just really dive into the mix, into the question, feeling what source really wants you to know. And one of the words that I'm getting is self-reflection. I feel like you're going to be in a month of self-reflection, because I think there's a lot of things that you're wanting to revisit and evaluate. I feel like there's a lot of things that you'd like to start to unfold in your life and to experience, and those will require a little bit of transformation. And it's exciting. It's not a bad thing at all. So we're going to see position 1. We've got the Judgment card. Position 2, we've got the Page of Wands. Position 3, we've got, what is that? 2 of Swords. Position 4, we've got Knight of Pentacles. And position 5, we've got Page of Pentacles. Okay. So we're going to take this on. And the Judgment card, she's literally doing a yoga, kind of like almost like a yoga mudra. She's in a state of surrender. She's witnessing her higher self through her heart, and she's offering up her physical body to a frequency of heart and love as her higher consciousness. The brown outfit that she's wearing to me represents. Okay, so go with me on this. Has anybody ever done like a painting or finger painting or anything like that? And what happens when you mix too many colors together? You get brown most of the time. I like to think of this in the same variation as a rainbow. A luminous form could be iridescent, but also a luminous form that's not self-aware yet. Like you've been tapping in, you've been seeing these things, you've been feeling these synchronicities, but you're not necessarily relating it to you doing the work as much as maybe you're still a little bit in the passive state about how spirit is speaking to you. And you'll see your illuminated self, your homo luminous being, more of a shade of brown rather than rainbow. And that could be because it's more muted. It's not as pronounced. You're taking that lower road. You're speaking when spoken to versus speaking out, and that's very admirable, and that's very much a message of the heart. But I do feel like what she's doing right now, she's offering up herself to the higher variation of the heart. So this also tells me that the judgment, you're releasing judgment, you're releasing the old version of yourself, the more the quiet, the calm, the elevated conscious being, but that still only sees yourself as like the earth tones, right? So you're going to engage a little bit more in the exploration of self, a little bit more exciting. You might start adding some more colors into your wardrobe. You might start adding some more different people into your path. And you're going to start to become more colorful. So you're going to be moving and embarking on that. Now, in this is the background story of what we're coming from. This is where you've been, what you've been working on, and what's going on behind the scenes. And the judgment card in itself, minus the artwork that is whether understood or not understood by the artist, in my interpretation, is representing a spiritual awakening and a call to self-reflection. The background of this question or this idea that you've been having is rooted in the desire for a deeper personal transformation so that you can really reevaluate what's going on in your life with new eyes and new senses. And it signifies that you're being guided to rise above some of the limitations. You don't have to embrace those any longer because you're transitioning into a different level of consciousness. And that's going to come with more color. It's going to come with more opportunity, more access, more conversation. And that's going to be part of the spiritual growth for where you're headed, right? That's going to be part of that higher level of understanding. Now, moving into card 2, I like this card. Where you're going to end up if you take that judgment card with that energy and go full throttle. Page of Wands, I'm looking at, she's spinning the wand like a baton. Her solar plexus, she's wearing a yellow jacket. So her solar plexus, the way she sees herself, the way her standing, her structure, her status, her confidence, her courage is open and it's out there and it's vulnerable, but it's victorious. And she's throwing the wand into the air. So you're releasing the weight of what you thought your life might be for what it can be. And the hair slinging around is also free. It's frolicky. And then the color of the pants being blue, a lot of this is stemmed from, again, understanding the power of speech, the power of your word. And this is all within your context. You're doing this through dialogue, having an inner dialogue and having dialogue with other people. So you're going to be talking and helping people doing this and expanding yourself. So the Page of Wands is going to signify tapping into that enthusiasm, tapping into that inspiration, tapping into that new beginning. And if you continue on the current path, bringing that judgment card forward, that enlightenment, you're going to experience a surge of creative energy and a sense of adventure. And this card's going to also encourage you to explore new passions, people, embrace opportunities for growth, and embrace your inner fire. Have fun, be free, spin that baton like a majorette. It's like a major part of your life is going to be happening over the next month. Now, this next card is the challenges or the opportunities that could be on the way to achieving this status of card 2, coming from card 1. 2 of Swords. She's being pulled a little bit like Alfred Hitchcock's movie The Birds. I'm going to take these ravens as Hunan and Munin of Odin. I've got the tattoo on my left arm. So these are actually, even though they look like they're assaulting her, they're assisting her. She's blinded by her own indecision. And both of these ravens are trying to help her through different variations or different people or different situations to discern the truth or discern the desire. She's wearing a black dress. It's not for mourning. It's for the morning, right? Not mourning, but morning. It's for the awakening. It's for that first 5 minutes. Your subconscious is completely open. This is for tapping into that deeper state, for being in the alpha state of suggestion, but also in the deeper theta state for digestion. So this is the black represents a feeling of breaking free. Even though you've got some choices to make, it is still, it doesn't require urgency. It doesn't require you to do it right this moment, but it is kind of picking at you. It's kind of pulling at you. So the 2 of Swords in this aspect is representing that state of indecision and the need to make a choice. The challenge that could be faced here is finding a balance between your thoughts and your emotions to overcome any of these conflicts that you might be feeling inside. Now, the card also is driving you towards introspection. It's driving you towards more of an open line of communication. And really, again, the black dress representing a little bit of a pause, taking some time like we have with Jenny's reading, seeking clarity before making important decisions, taking that breath, residing in that peaceful place before you jump in. Card 4, we've got Knight of Pentacles. This represents a full embodiment, a full awakening. This is a Kundalini experience. This is something you've already had, but it may not be integral or part of your complete self. It might not be something that you integrate within you because the Knight of Pentacles, he's off his horse and this is behind him. So even though it's empowered you and it's put you in a different perception and it's giving you a lot of grace in life, I still believe that a little bit of your spirituality is somehow silent, is somehow on the sideline, is somehow not showing up front and center full force. So this card is going to bring you clarity in what you already know and experience and help you with the decisions that you are going to make with the 2 of Swords. The Knight of Pentacles is embodying a practicality. It's bringing all the hard work that you've done and the determination to have this awakening experience, this Kundalini awakening, with you, not to just leave it behind you as a platform, but to work with it daily so that you can begin to understand the importance and stability of adding this type of information as a long-term design for yourself. It's suggesting also to stay grounded and committed to the endeavors that you've set yourself or set your sights on, and to not lose the part of you that awakened, not lose the part of you that was really located here in love and light and excitement, and to keep that for clarity and to start to manifest more of these visions and these that will come to pass. It's a good card. It's a solid card, and it leads to the ultimate goal, the ultimate hope, the ultimate outcome, which is the Page of Pentacles, which is a platform of intuition, transformation, spiritual sensation. She's on a mandala, which is representing tapping into the flower of life, the bread of life, and she's also got a mandala here at her sternum. So here's the beauty. So the majority of this outcome is going to affect your sensory, sensual, and intimate and alignment with everything, everyone, including yourself and the world around you. You're going to learn to live a much more full and deeper life. Your vulnerability is going to go up a little bit more over the next 28 days. And this represents you're taking the earth-based pattern that you encountered before, that you built your house on in the most recent years, and you're imprinting that into your sternum, to your solar plexus. You're going to feel empowered by everything, including the earth. The one thing in the forest and the green, the trees represent life, oxygen, air, earth, heart, green, heart. So all of these are present. And then the open skyless skyline back here, or the cloudless skyline, is showing you clarity. It's showing you that you're going to be able to tap in. The only thing that is here that would give me any kind of slowdown is that she's wearing black. So even though this is the outcome, you're still bringing a little bit of this decision that you needed to make, or this conundrum of yay or nay, or up or down, or left or right, with you in your crown chakra. So you want to be very diligent to make sure that you live a yes-no life moving forward as much as you can. Page of Pentacles overall is representative of a fresh start and learning and focusing on things that are practical. The one thing I like about this is that the ultimate goal here is to cultivate a solid foundation for longevity and fulfillment. And whether that's in your consciousness, your community, your career, your finances, your own well-being, this card is going to encourage you to embrace all of those opportunities for growth and to really give yourself the benefit of the doubt and approach life with curiosity, and to really be dedicated to a deeper understanding of yourself. And basically, in my mind, right, the guides are literally telling you that this is a huge time for transformation in your life, and self-reflection and personal growth are going to be the main keys here. You're getting ready to kind of have a new, and this is what the Knight of Pentacles is showing, when your awakening didn't go away, your Kundalini awakening, that special spiritual event you had, didn't go away. It's getting ready to catch up with you real quick. It's going to give you a burst of newfound awakening energy, new creativity, and it's going to help you to overcome any of these indecisions or any of these inner conflicts by having a crystal clear conversations with the people in your life, and to start making those practical yes-no decisions, moving the maybes a little bit out so that they're not so toxic, and then remaining committed to those yes or no's, and staying grounded and open to learning and to laying that groundwork for your longevity to manifest the vision that you really have into reality. One of the things that I'd like to drop in on this would be what this is going to represent is a huge aspect of healing for you. It says, a phenomenal healing energy flows through every cell in my body. And this is the third eye. This is your imagination center. And it's going to be really giving you a lot of imagination. You're going to have a lot of vivid dreams over the next 28 days. So that's what we have for Lindy. And I feel that's a very freaking fantastic reading. We can all learn a lot from that. And let me see, is you got a black t-shirt collection. So is there anybody else on that wants a reading? We are at 1 hour, and I guess we're ready to call the ball. I'm going to end up recording the live podcast tomorrow during the day, so we can get that done and we can get that going. Let me bring it back to, while we're waiting, we're going to transition back, and we'll go back to that cam if anybody wants to do any readings. I feel that when we see a card, and I just wanted to help people understand the clarity of a card. in understanding it. Okay, so this card, right? Oh wait, no, I don't want to. Don't lose me. Okay, so this card, the author of the card, the artist of the card, did not miss a beat in making this design specific for the energy that I would buy this deck for. So, yes, the Knight of Pentacles has its own kind of textbook meaning, but I want to be able to tap into my own intuition. So, if any of you are reading someone or yourself, give the opportunity to have this card mean something more. Look at the image, feel the image, go with what you've grown with, go with what you understand, whether it's the chakras, the colors, the feeling, the sensation, the position. What information is being conveyed subconsciously from the artist that they were not even aware of? Like a synchronicity, it will shine for you and it will shine to you, and you'll be able to find deeper meaning across the board in all of these different readings. Astrology is a little bit higher to find deeper meaning in it by looking at a star, but it's still possible. And then somebody asked me, how can a energy update or a collective card reading do anything personally? How can that mean anything to you specifically if you just happen to cruise by and see one of mine or somebody else's reading and it's a general update with a card pull? And I like to think of it again. I'm going to describe this. Imagine the closest stop sign to your street or your neighborhood. The stop sign looks the same across every street in America, most likely. It means the same thing. And we all stop at that sign. Now, stopping at that sign on your street is specific to you, but me stopping on my street at the same sign and symbol is the same thing. So I can actually find meaning that will, so a card that's pulled here as a general reading, like in my neighborhood, my stop sign, my space, can still read into your life because the energy is also still a collective and it's still subjective from the higher self source that is one soul and it's infinite. It's so energy in itself shows up specifically for you when you show up for it. That's why when you see 1111 or 222 or 227, for me 27 is big. If you see something that's a major player, a number, or you start looking at signs a little bit more, you'll start understanding that those signs don't just speak to you, right? Like 222 isn't just for you, it's for anybody that sees it, but it's the same thing for the cards. So they can, or the I Ching, or whatever it might be, the modality that's being used is for every single person that's watching that feed. And then you will feel into it, just like I can get something out of that card that may not be in the book that you made with it. I can pull something else out of it because I can make that message personalized for me because I can see it through my discernment and my intuition. So you want to look at any of these messages with your own personal discernment and intuition, and you want to address it and listen to it from the place within your heart so that you get what you need to hear out of it. But it very much is for you if you found it, I promise. I think where we're at is almost over. Once again, let me put in the link for my Instagram post so that if you didn't catch the energy update on Instagram, you can get there and you can see it. Please, everybody, share this on your Facebook, on your platform. And when this post, feel free to come back and leave a comment. But please share this so that we can start to re-energize the algorithm. I'm no longer banned for being a bad boy and trying to break the only acceptable rules. I've learned to not live by the rules and not break the rules, but to break the rules. So everybody, what a great night. What great readings. Thank you for participating. Wait, 2, 7, 2 plus 1 is 9, number of completion into the cycles. And you know what's funny is that is also my numerology. My life path is a 9. So, and it's interesting because 2, 7 always led to 9. And I didn't know my life path was a 9. And if you would like a more in-depth reading, I do offer that. And I do have, we could do a life path report astrologically. I also make meditations that are specific if you have something going on and you want. I created a style of meditation, which I call it a quantum meditation technique, where I am blending sound, terminology, and word choice with whatever is going on within your world that you want to address in a style of meditation similar to the Monroe Institute, but also some of the things I studied when I was in the monastery, so that we can give you healing and we can address it right in a Life Path 11. That's cool. So we can address it subconsciously so that you can get that work in. And even like what I'm working on, so my Twin Flame book is going to be coming out really soon. And that product is going to have the book and a parallel meditation journey. And then my meditation journey for the conscious universe is also coming out soon too. And you can literally listen to these and download the codes that contain the information without really reading it. And it will resorb into your body. Like if you drank a vitamin drink and it feeds the vitamins in your body, same type of setup. So if you want that, let me know. I can create a meditation custom for you as well. You can just book a reading or book an astrological report, and I can make you a custom meditation instead. And you can send me an email at info@ryankeys. I've got several sessions booked tomorrow. I do have a few openings going into Sunday if anybody wants one. If you check out soc.live, it's $11 a month, and we do live tarot there. We do live podcast there, and we've got some other goodies that we're going to do. We're going to do a new moon meditation there, and we're going to do a series about mediumship, and we're going to break down some of these other things with the astrology that's happening, and talk a little bit about aliens, and then we're going to break down what's going on. I can't do it here, but I can go live there and talk about some of the current events and how those are really lining up from a conscious space without getting into trouble here. So the community is basically like Patreon on steroids, and for $11, it's pretty phenomenal. And you'll get 3 days for free. And if you want to, if anybody wants to book a reading before the 7th, do it at the link in my link tree or my Square site and use this code breakthrough, and it will give you 30% off any product there. All right. And you can buy up to $100 worth of product. I will see you all soon. Everybody have a beautiful, wonderful night. As a reminder, not out of fear, have extra water, have extra food, have extra batteries and a flashlight. And as a tip from me to you, from my previous experience, from military, bodyguarding, and other things, and having people that I know that have been based in other agencies, if, like what happened last night, there was a level 3 outage, which was a rolling outage. So there's different cell phone providers, T-Mobile, AT&T, Verizon, different landline cable providers, Xfinity, Comcast, Spectrum, all across the nation went out and on last night, starting at 4 when I was live, and it rolled through. Even Starlink was out. And then I got some knowledge that somebody that works at a particular type of place in South Dakota that shoots a particular type of projectile up into the air in the event of any major events that would land somewhere else and really destroy a lot of shit. They were called in last night on an emergency call at 11 p.m. Mountain Time to sit after they had just got done with a 14-hour shift. Air Force working at this particular space because of there was some hot things going on yesterday that nobody's talking about except for you guys here and me. And there is a current, there is a resistance in, they call it the reset, we call it the rebirth. The Great Reset, it doesn't need to be reset. We just need to reconnect. We need to go back to the garden and re-energize ourselves, reintroduce ourselves to the garden. It's not a reset, right? So the Great Reset is trying to take control of the situation that's going to happen simultaneously where nobody's going to control it. And then keep an eye out on 2030. As I've said multiple times, we're going to get a band of light that's coming from the center of our galaxy, and most likely it could be compounded by the red supernova of Betelgeuse sending gamma radiation here. And we're looking at a possible, don't quote me on it, but in 2027 to 2030, we're looking at a possible solar event that will be equivalent to when monkey went to man instantaneously. So where that takes us, I don't know. But it's an opportunity. It is an option. And I know NASA just now started talking about it. I've talked about this before. So there's a lot going on that we're going to lean into and talk about in the private space at soc.live, because it's a community that we all have and we all can be in and discuss these key topics. And it's not a Telegram thread. It's something that's vibrant. It's something where we don't feel like we're backdoor meeting, right? We're not like at an AA coffee talk somewhere in some back of some church. It's bold. It's an app. It's out there. It's got real interaction and real content. It's not like we're having to talk about this behind closed doors, but we're doing it in a way that is our way. So I invite you to come over to soc.live, and that's where we're going to thrive over there. So if you need anything, you know where to find me, info@RyanKeys. Pick up my book, The Conscious Universe, on Amazon. They'll find the links in the bio. You were in the Air Force as well? Then you know what I'm talking about. So a level 3, what is it? I forget the name. It's clear. Is it ClearLink? Is it ClearLink that controls a lot of the communications? So so level 3, as in a forced leap in collective consciousness. Yes, a forced leap in collective consciousness. Definitely so. And I feel like that's why some of these people have telescopes, but it is definitely that. But being in the Air Force, to get called in on an emergency into a where you control launching certain things out of the ground up in South Dakota, and it correlates with a massive rolling outage that's a level 3 DDoS attack, on the back of creating a faux event in a country that sounds like Robitussin, but with a Wessa was that? So in a country that is very large, that has a lot of the same things, and it's on the heels of we did a media coup that wasn't real, but it was. So I think this was kind of like the flashback or a test of our certain systems. So I would encourage everybody to just be a little ready. Be ready with a little extra water. Have a meet plan if you have people that are close to you. Have a place to meet in the event of, and as a tip from me to you, under the radar, if you can get a cell phone or a hotspot that works on 3G, my everything was out at my house, but I was able to use an international old school hotspot that I maintain with a SIM card to get online to see what was happening. At least I could have sent an email. I was able to hotspot my phone in to check the text. And if you have a phone or that type of system, you'll be able to still send a text, hopefully, if that were to be the worst case scenario. Just food for thought, right? You can pick one up on eBay for about $20, and then could be good to have, right? You can pick up an old Solace or an older hotspot that is international and buy a couple day passes. Maybe you'd spend like maybe $50 total on an old one from eBay, and you could have a hotspot that has a 24-hour global pass that would work most likely in the event of most rolling incursions from outside sources, because they're mainly targeting 5G, right? 3G is a redundant system. And I think one of the things that was tested was because Sprint, Comcast, Xfinity, and some of these others have added cellular networking to their system. And those seem to be the ones that were affected. So, hey, Mel, how's it going? Yeah, readiness for sure. Yes, you're exactly right, 40 mil. Exactly right. So, yeah, for that emergency in South Dakota, that's exactly right. That was concerning to me, and I know July has got a lot of things going on, and I know that we're in a state of transition, and I know that I'm a firm believer in multidimensional life. I don't know that I want to call it extraterrestrial just yet. I do know that it is timeless, that the past and the future occur at the same time, and that many life forms could be here from the future, and they could be perceived as not quite human. And I know that there also could be residual past life forms that were able to live alongside of us in a slip dimension. And so I think that the concept of aliens also arriving right now is not coincidental. I'm excited to see what it goes, but at the same time, I like to do a grain of salt. And I ask my guide what's going on. And I've had information over the past 3 years that's been very accurate and delivered accurately. But just keep your eyes peeled and don't believe the first thing you see or hear. Ask questions. Go to the child inside. Ask the dumbest questions. If you feel like it's dumb, keep asking. Observe. Work on your intuition. Ground your discernment. Plug the leaks in your energy field. Figure out what's going on in your life right now that you can better, you can alter, whether it's you or whether it's other people. Really empower yourself to do so. And let's stop allowing the collective to push us. Let us become the sheepdogs. Let us become the sheep herders, the shepherds, rather than the sheep. Let us become the movers and the shapers, rather than being moved by the masses because we are getting misinformation that the majority rules. I think we can all see right now, the majority isn't ruling in the media for sure. The minority is ruling. The minority is really steering everything right now, except when it comes to us in the spiritual awakening platform. We're still stuck with the term of the collective being an all-powerful, all-knowing, subjective force, when it's actually just waiting for us to realize our power. So once we realize that the minority, The squeaky wheel gets the oil, and when we start becoming the squeaky spiritual wheel, and we start really amping up our awakening, and we move into living this life as lucidly as possible, we can alter the alignment of the collective quite quickly. You will see that we'll hit critical mass. They're already among us. I'm a channeler. Yeah. The interesting thing is that how can I put this? Think of how smart Bill Gates might be, right? Intelligence doesn't denote emotional intelligence. Intellectualness doesn't necessarily mean that you're not malevolent, or that you have grown in a level of intellect that you no longer look at things with the same humanistic behavior of this is mine, that's yours, or distress and fear. I think it's important that we really work on our emotional intelligence and our emotional intuition. And we actually probably will even be a witness for the world that's going to unfold, the world also from within worlds. I think that just because a being has access to a spiritual Merkaba vehicle doesn't mean that they have access to their heart. They may have been living in the spiritual realms of consciousness for so long that they've lost connection to the heart. So we can also bring heart back home to all time and space. And I think that's an important thing to remember too. So be very diligent and very dedicated to your own discernment. Yeah. Anyway, think of it in a positive way. It's all coming. And if you want to be part of the community, we'll continue discussions like this over there. I've got to be careful here because, as you all know, I really got sidelined during the CV for being too outspoken. And not outspoken in whether to get or not to get, but just outspoken with your integrity and your choice. What do you do? All right, everybody. Thank you for being here. And I'm going to give you a little taste of Batman. If anybody who wants to donate any Batman stuffed animals, my P.O. box is in my bio. And here's the Batman cam. Wait, let me lower this. There's the Bubba cam right there. Watch. Tucker. He's right there. All right, everybody. Exactly. Powerful and corrupt as well. Corruption even can extend into the ether. And obviously, that's how we got the story of Lucifer, right? Corruption has no ends, no matter where you're at on the timeline, or in intelligence, or in the aspect of time and space. All right, everybody. And this is the no bueno cam, crotch cam, and back to the me cam. And then the real me cam. Boom. All right, everybody. I will see you all soon. Have a beautiful, wonderful evening, afternoon, wherever you're at. And well, I'll be back next week. So I'm going to pick this up as well. So if you know anybody that will want a reading next week, tune in around the same time, 7:30 on Wednesday evening. So I'm going to make it a roundabout. I'll do the live podcast at soc.live, and then I'll roll in and do the reading. He is the best. I love him to death. He is my angel. He's my Batman. His name is Bodhisattva because he is the Bodhisattva. So everybody have a beautiful, beautiful evening. I'll see you all very soon. Peace. and love. Da 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 da. Oh, 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 oh. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's groove it. See y'all soon. Have a good afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you're at. Peace, light, and love.